It's day 2 of the holiday that I made up, Forget Me Not Iris Week. Yesterday I showed you the mustard yellow pleated short sleeve tee that I made, and today I'm back with a whole new look that I made using the exact same pattern. As a reminder, the Iris tee is a classic t-shirt pattern designed for knit fabrics with multiple sleeve options, a crew neckline, and a women's t-shirt fit which includes waist shaping without being clingy. So here's my next version of the Iris tee, and it's actually not much of a tee at all. Instead, it's a swing dress or a trapeze dress. Cute, right? All right, let's start from the top. I kept the neckline the same as the original design, that classic crew neck. For the sleeve, I opted for the 3/4 length sleeve with the pleat. Like I promised in yesterday's video, the pleated sleeves look complicated, but they are really very easy to sew. This one is actually even easier to sew than the short sleeve pleated sleeve because it has fewer pleats. But it's sewn in a very similar manner where the pleats are basted and then they're sewn into a dart before you add the sleeve band. My only complaint about this sleeve is that it's a little bit wide at the opening. I could easily pinch out 3 inches from mine. I do have really small forearms though, so if you have small arms like me, just be sure to test fit the sleeve before you sew the band on. That brings up another point, is that you can't really alter much about this sleeve after they've been cut out. That includes the width and the length especially. Due to the nature of the pleats and the very small 1/4 inch seam allowances, there isn't any room for altering the length as you sew. So if you know sleeve length or width is usually an issue for you, just be sure to make a muslin or at the very least tissue fit the sleeve for length and circumference. All right, now for the hack. This is actually a very easy alteration to make to any fitted bodice, whether it's knit, woven, t-shirt, some kind of like button down, really anything with a bodice can be hacked into this kind of trapeze type dress. First, I lengthened the pattern along the length and shorten line. I ended up adding about 9 inches to mine. Obviously, you can add more or less depending on how long you want it to be. And then to get the width, you draw a line, a straight kind of diagonal line from the middle of the front neckline all the way down to the middle of the hemline. And then you cut through the bottom hemline to the seam allowance at the neckline, swing the side seam out to your desired width. I ended up adding 9 inches to mine because I knew I wanted it to be super swingy. I got this whole technique from Seamwork. They have a lot of really great tutorials and hacks on their website. If you're not a Seamwork member, be sure to check the description box. I'll have a link down there for where you can join and get like, I think $3 off your first month. But adding the width this way, instead of just adding it to the side seams, ensures that the volume is added kind of evenly all the way around the garment rather than just at the side seams. Your front pattern piece and your back pattern piece obviously represent half of the front and half of the back since you cut those pieces on the fold. So whenever you add this huge wedge into those pattern pieces, what you're essentially doing is adding that width at every quarter all the way around. Does that make sense? So doing that, I think, is a little bit more flattering than adding all the volume just to the sides, because most of it ends up, you know, at the front and back of your body. With this alteration though, just keep in mind that it will add a little bit of width to your bust, your waist, and your hip as well. So if you're still wanting that fitted look at the bust, you'll need to alter the arm side and side seams to achieve that. For mine, I didn't make any other alterations other than the length and the width, so you can see what that looks like here. Obviously, this is a super comfortable silhouette to throw on and run around in, and the fabric really helps it feel super comfortable too. You could really choose any knit fabric for this design since it's so loose, but I opted for a 1x1 rib knit. It's 100% cotton, has 15% stretch, and is considered a mid-weight rib knit weighing 5 ounces. Rib knits are typically relegated to close-fitting clothing like turtlenecks and tight dresses since the ribs make it so elastic, but I liked it for this application because it's a little bit heftier and more stable to stand up to all the width of the hem. If you made it in a lighter weight knit, it would just be a little bit more clingy, it would fit a little bit closer to the body, and personal preference, I just didn't want that for this dress. Okay, and don't be mad, but the exact fabric I used, like, sold out or somehow it's not available on the site anymore between the time I bought it and now. That is so frustrating to me because I really do try and pick out these fabrics with the intention of you guys going and getting them for yourself. But I did still link the exact one in the description box so you could see it and you could get an idea of kind of what it was all about. But I also linked similar ones that should work the way this one did. The similar fabric will be a little bit silkier and have a little bit more drape than mine, but will still be fairly structured and not super clingy. The weight is pretty similar. It's just the substrates that were used to make the fabric are not 100% cotton. They're polyester and other things. So I have dressed up my new t-shirt dress with some Cole Haan sandals, a pendant necklace, and small hoops that I got from J. Crew. But it would be equally as cute with some black leather sneakers and a leather baseball cap. Come fall, I'll also wear this dress layered with a faux fur vest and over-the-knee boots. Actually, let's be real, I'll probably be wearing that in the winter here in North Carolina. In the fall, it'll still be pretty warm. Probably too warm for fur, that's for sure. But the styling options are really endless with a look like this, and I'm excited to play around with it. I just got a basic charcoal gray so that I could use that as a base and then, you know, really start embellishing it with all of the accessories. But that is everything I have for day 2 of Iris Week. What do you think of my new dress? Let me know in the comments, and be sure to check the description box for links to the pattern, the fabrics, my shoes, and earrings. And don't forget, 2 more irises are coming your way. 2 more irises that look completely different than this one and the one that I sewed yesterday. So that's going to do it for me today. Thank you so much for watching, but I will see you all tomorrow. Bye!